Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. When we talk about the NFC East, especially the Washington Commanders, we're witnessing a period of intense strategic moves, roster adjustments, and potential shifts in power that could redefine the division for seasons to come. And what's fueling this discussion right now is a very interesting rumor that's been gaining traction among insiders. A trade that could have serious ramifications for both the Commanders and their division rivals. So, buckle up, because this is one of those moves that could shake up the entire landscape of the NFL this season. The buzz is that the Cincinnati Bengals, currently sitting at a 2-3 record with around $12 million in cap space, are considering a trade involving safety Geno Stone. Now, this isn't just any trade rumor, this one comes with some real substance, coming from sources like Adam Schefter, who has been known for breaking some of the most accurate NFL insider news. The idea is that Cincinnati might send Geno Stone to Washington in exchange for a 2026 fourth-round pick, plus safety Percy Butler. And that's intriguing because it's not just about a player swap. It's about a strategic move by both teams with long-term implications. Let's start by talking about Geno Stone himself. Signed by the Ravens in 2024, he's been a revelation when healthy. His 2025 projection is nothing short of spectacular. He's expected to be among the top 20 safeties in PFF grades, and his stats are impressive. 25 solo tackles, 2 interceptions, 3 pass breakups, and a coverage rating of 78.5, which puts him in the top tier of safeties for that season. What makes Geno Stone so valuable isn't just his raw numbers, but his advanced metrics. He's elite in EPA per snap, with a plus 0.18 mark and his PFF grade of 90. 7 ranks him as the best among safeties. His ability to limit yards after catch, allowing only about 2 yards per tackle, and his low missed tackle percentage of around 4% make him a very reliable presence in any secondary. In Week 3 versus the Commanders, Geno Stone had a game to remember: 8 tackles, an interception, and a plus 0.20 EPA per play. That kind of performance shows he can elevate a defense, especially when facing high-powered offenses. His career stats include 300 tackles, 9 interceptions, and 5 forced fumbles, the kind of numbers that show a ball hawk who can change the course of a game at any moment. His ball hawking rate, around 18%, places him among the top safety playmakers league-wide. Now the Bengals, who are currently sitting with a 2-3 record and facing some challenges in the AFC North, are in a bit of a tricky spot. They're not exactly favorites to make a deep playoff run this season, with odds of around plus 8,000 to win the AFC North, and they're in a rebuild mode to some extent. Their main focus right now is extending Joe Burrow. They need to free up cap space for that, and sources suggest they're looking at a potential strategy of trading players like Geno Stone to create that flexibility. The idea is to focus on extending Burrow and reinforcing their offensive line, especially considering their vulnerability to sacks. Cincinnati has allowed 28 sacks so far this season, which is a concern, especially when they want to keep their franchise quarterback healthy and productive. This is where the secondary trade comes into play. By trading Geno Stone, Cincinnati could free up cap space to extend Burrow and perhaps bolster their defensive line with other assets, like Hubbard. But there's a risk involved. The secondary could take a hit, with some metrics showing about a 12% drop in EPA per pass compared to previous seasons. That's not ideal when trying to stay competitive in a division that's filled with talented offenses. Meanwhile, the Washington Commanders, sitting at a 3-3 record and positioning themselves as buyers this season, are eyeing a top-tier safety for their secondary. After the injuries and absences of key players like McLaurin, who's been DNP with a quadriceps injury, Brown going on IR with a groin injury, Samuel with a heel issue, and Armstrong with a hamstring, their secondary has been under some serious pressure. They need help, and Geno Stone might be that answer. His addition could elevate their pass defense, which currently ranks around 18th in yards allowed per game, giving up about 220 yards through the air. If they manage to acquire him, projections suggest that the Commanders could see an increase of about 8 interceptions over the season, along with a significant reduction in passing yards allowed, potentially dropping from 220 to around 190 yards per game. What makes Geno Stone such an attractive target for Washington isn't just his stats, but his potential fit within their scheme. His zone coverage win rate is projected to increase, and he's known for his ability to be a ball hawk. Plus, his versatility in coverage and run support makes him a perfect fit for a secondary that's been trying to find consistency all season. The addition of a player like him could push the Commanders into the top 10 in pass defense, a huge step forward given where they stand now. And let me tell you, this move could have further implications for their playoff hopes. The odds of Washington making a deep playoff run could improve significantly. Some projections suggest their Super Bowl odds could drop from plus 6,000 to around plus 3,000 if they secure a player like Geno Stone. His presence would boost their overall defensive EPA, especially against deep threats like Lamb, which has been a concern for them this season. It's a move that screams of a team trying to build a strong foundation for a postseason push, not just for this year, but for the future. Now, talking about the broader picture, this trade isn't just about individual players. It's a strategic chess move. Cincinnati might be looking at a tanking scenario, focusing on their long-term rebuild, especially with the cap space they're creating now to extend Burrow and possibly acquire other young talent. But for Washington, this is a clear statement of intent. They're aiming for the playoffs, and they're willing to make bold moves to strengthen their roster. Adding Geno Stone could be the difference maker, boosting their secondary, helping them contain high-powered offenses, and increasing their chances of winning crucial games down the stretch. This move also has a psychological impact. It sends a message to the division that the Commanders are serious about contending and that they're willing to make aggressive moves to improve their roster. It's a signal to their division rivals that Washington isn't just a team looking to compete. They're positioning themselves to dominate. And for the Bengals, it's a sign that they're prioritizing their long-term rebuild, possibly accepting that this season might be a transitional phase, focusing on future assets and cap flexibility. As we look ahead, the NFL landscape is shifting, and these kinds of trades are what make the season unpredictable and exciting. The possibility of Geno Stone in a Commander's uniform is a game changer, not just for the secondary, but for the entire team's outlook. It could be the piece that pushes Washington into the upper echelon of NFC defenses, giving them a real shot at making noise in the playoffs and maybe even beyond. Meanwhile, Cincinnati's focus on extending Burrow and rebuilding their defense signals a different kind of strategy, one that might pay off in the long run but could leave them vulnerable this season. So, fans of the Commanders, this is a story you don't want to miss. The idea of adding Geno Stone to bolster an already promising secondary is exciting, especially considering how much we know about his talent and potential. And whether this move happens or not, it highlights how teams are constantly evolving, making bold decisions to chase glory or rebuild with a long-term vision. The next few weeks will be crucial, as we'll see whether this trade rumor turns into a reality and how it ultimately impacts the division and the playoff picture. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Geno Stone is the missing piece for the secondary? Are you excited about the potential of this move boosting your team's chances? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in recent memory, and whatever happens, you can count on us to bring you all the insights, analysis, and breaking news. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Commanders.